So it seems a lot of you have a. We'll get to this. We're going to go through the news stories, but let me explain something to you, motherfuckers. Fuck off. Go on another person's channel if you don't like what I do. Now I have a goth metal lore playlist. In If you go through my channel, you can find it. I'm not going to tell you fuckers how to get there. Okay. I've explained what goth metal lore is, and maybe I'll explain it again at the end of the year. But for right now, I don't feel like it. I'm not going to, this is my channel. You know, after my abusive father and my abusive sisters and my abusive mother and kids at school, you know, eventually after decades of abuse, okay? Because you troll. See, so we're going to talk about Renee Lalo in a moment. But before we talk about that, um, the director of Gandahar, who also directed Fantastic Planet, um, I approached that movie ineptly. Okay? I had never watched Gandahar before I saw it. It was a review, it was not a retrospective. And somebody who does not know French had to explain it to myself as well as the audience. If I had to sit there and say, okay, so many of you that hated it, you dogpiled in the comments section of the Gandahar video. You're like, well, this guy's stupid. He doesn't know shit. He should, whatever. Um, so most of you didn't go to what's called Daigaku. Okay, at Daigaku, I went to a Daigaku. At Daigaku is a wonderful place because you learn so much, right? At Daigaku, you are the Gakusei. Special title for you. And so many of you didn't go to this Daigaku, and I did. So if I went to a Daigaku and I'm learning, and the teacher says, hey, I want you to write a report about a movie with animation from the 70s or the 80s. Talk about it. Okay. So I have to write up this report and I have to explain to people what is it. Because if a lot of people, just because you've seen Gandahar and your mama's seen Gandahar, that's not 7 billion people. Some people don't know what a Gandahar is. They'll say Gesundheit. They don't know what the fuck you're talking about. They say, what is that? What's that mean? You ever see that video where teenagers play the Super NES or the NES? They have no idea. It's that video where they like, oh my God, what's this? Oh, what does this do? Like, they don't know shit, right? There's a video where it's teens versus Super NES. And praise to those two girls who loved Star Fox. Good on them. They know what good games are, okay? People don't know everything all the fucking time, dude. So I'm going to do, bouncing my head back and forth, what I feel is fucking right to do. You can go fuck your mother's ass until she's dead or dies of a heart attack, and you don't have to be on my channel. You actually fucking don't. Okay? You're welcome to your opinion, but watch your mouth, watch your fingers, watch your words, and we'll all be cool. There's 2,000, I said to one person, there's 2,000 other people who talk about Gandahar as though they worked on the movie with eloquent French language and eloquent, fluent French grammar. Go to their channel. I'm sure they can make me sound like a 2-year-old who's like, blah, 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 banging drums, don't know things. Okay, that's fine. You could do as you feel is right. But as somebody who has lived in America, who was born in Southern California and has only known Americans his whole life, this was the perspective that I took. I loved the movie. I didn't think it was as great as like other movies, but it was still fine. So we're going to move from Gandahar to Fantastic Planet. These are news articles. Now, this is a Fantastic Planet with light score by the same director, Renee. And this is, if you've never seen Fantastic Planet, the feature-length French Czechoslovakian sci-fi film from 1973, the first animated movie to be rated PG in the USA. Now is the perfect opportunity. This was March 6th, or no, March 9th, actually. So this is from March 9th. the first animated movie to be rated PG in the USA. So it's the you get to blow your alien-loving mind via a cinema classic. This screening from Rocket Cinema, it took place among the appropriately otherworldly artifacts that tower over and dwell within the East Side's Dimension Sculpture Park, with the freaky film's full-color narrative given a live soundtrack by Austin's own Void Drifter with Brother Lit. So that's pretty good. Yeah. So that was in Texas. So they showed this movie in Texas, just like they showed The Phantom Menace. They showed this in Texas. That's pretty cool. There you go. I'll look at Fantastic Planet later on at some point if you all like. Be nice, be civil, as you would want people to be civil to you. Let's look at some other news stories. And from Tarsem Singh, the director of Immortals with Henry Cavill, just reviewed that over the weekend. Here we got Dear Jasi. This is Tarsem Singh's Dwandar delivers a breathtaking emotional gut punch. So this is Dear Jasi. This is his latest movie. Dear Jasi starts with a declaration. This is a love story. Sikh singer Kanwar Grewai proclaims that this directly to the audience while sitting in the lush fields of Punjab, visibly moved already by the events about to be depicted over the next 132 minutes. Dwandwar weaves the stirring, tragic, and true journey of Jasi, Pavia Sidhu, and Mithu Yugam Sood. Jaswinder Jasi Kaur and Sukhwinder Singh Mithu, Sidhu met in Punjab in the 1990s, where they quickly fell in love. Dear Jasi chronicles their courtship from that first serendipitous meeting and through years of love letters, phone calls, and a secret marriage. Dandwar and his cinematographer, so Tarsem and his cinematographic collaborator, Brendan Galvin, instantly immerse viewers in the story told through long takes and slow, steady panning that captures the stillness of rural India, and how love and hate can shake that piece to its very roots. So it's not really a Goth-Metal lore type movie, but it's one of those bright, colorful kind of movies. And I still like The Cell and The Fall, and they take us to different places. This is more, I'm sure he incorporates a lot of scenery and a lot of things like that. So there's Indian cinema. I did watch some cinema in college, so I would look at like African cinema, Indian cinema. That's what happens when you go to college. You learn so much. But anyway, let's move on. All right, so let's get into some lore here. Let's get into some Texas Chainsaw Massacre here. So we got a couple of articles I want to show you. This is the 50th anniversary trailer. So it's just as terrifying as being there. Dark Sky Films is celebrating the 50th anniversary of Tobe Hooper's classic horror, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which first opened in the fall of 1974. A classic that changed horror cinema forever. It has been remembered many times before already, but now it's time for its proper golden anniversary. There's even a whole book about its cultural impact called The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the film that terrified a rattled nation. MPI Media Group and Dark Sky Films are planning a year-long celebration, kicking off with a premiere of Texas Frightmare Weekend in May, along with tons of screenings in theaters, leading up to October, plus a brand new 4K Blu-ray drop as well. The special edition collector's set will be housed in a custom-created box shaped as a chainsaw, oh great, that will feature iconic sounds from the film when it is opened. Hell yes, the plot follows a group of friends who fall victim to a family of cannibals while on their way to the old homestead. The film was originally marketed as being based on true events to attract a wider audience and to act as a subtle commentary on the era's political climate. This anniversary trailer is mainly promoting the many events this year, since everyone knows the movie already. Here's to the 50th anniversary. So, I guess you could watch that later. There's we're getting notifications up the ass. Probably the troll. I bet you anything. The person that is like telling me I'm wrong changed his edited, because he edited his comment. When you edit your comments, I will take pictures. Okay, You want to try to make a fool out of me? Don't do it. Don't fucking do it. I've been doing this a bit longer than you have. So here are the trailers. So this is, I'm not sure, this was a month ago. So this is Stay Put in Austin, Texas at the Stay Put. So you could join them. I'm not sure when this event was. This is, oh, okay, so here we go. Thanks to Bloody Disgusting for the tip on this classic horror celebration. So full intro for the 2024 release coming from Dark Sky. Throughout the spring and summer of 2024, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre will continue to treat fans with special appearances and fan panels at various conventions throughout the country, including one of the largest chainsaw reunions ever, with 12 guests appearing at the year's Texas Frightmare weekend on May 17th to 19th in August. That's May 17th to 19th. And in August, the re-release of the restored film will premiere at the Museum of Modern Art in New York City, where it is a part of the revered institution's permanent collection. Following that, the screenings of the film will begin in theaters around the country, including major events in Los Angeles and Chicago. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a horror movie directed by Tobe Hooper. So there's a 4K UHD ultra high definition Blu-ray later this year. So May 17th to 19th. If you want to go to this, there's the Texas event. So there you go. Pretty neat. And all right. How to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies in order. This is the timeline explained. We got people in here. So Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of the oldest and most notable franchises in the horror genre, and after 50 years is still going strong. So let's find out what the timeline is all about. Can we do that? There are 9 movies in the franchise, with the first movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, dating back to 1974. The subsequent installments in the series establish a complicated timeline with many films acting as simple sequels, while others fit under the remake, reboot, and prequel umbrellas. Still, the premise is pretty simple, as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, almost titled Head Cheese, surrounds a serial killing family from middle of nowhere, Texas. As the title suggests, a lot of the movie's killing happens with a chainsaw at the hands of Leatherface. He's one of the few elements carried throughout the franchise as the only character to appear in each movie. The best way to experience his movies depends on the specific viewing order. So this is updated on April 3rd. So here we go. So in order of release. So you got the first one, right? What are we doing here? What are we doing? What is this? Okay. Okay, here we go. So read more. We should read more. Okay, so here's the first movie, right? I watched that. There's part 2. There's Massacre. There's Leatherface. So this is part 3. The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? So these are all in chronological order and story order. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake in 2003. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the beginning in 2006. Texas Chainsaw 3D in 2013. Leatherface in 2017. And then there's Texas Chainsaw Massacre again in 2022, which I hear is not a very good chapter. So there are your movies. I probably would just stick to the first one and not look at the second one. So, I mean, as far as the Goth-Metal lore stuff is concerned. Okay. I just removed somebody's comment from my comment section for Gandahar. Let me explain. I'm going to explain things to you. Okay. Let me viewer explain things. Okay. Don't try to talk down to me like I'm a retard. Okay. One of the reasons I did Goth-Metal lore was because I got tired of the superhero movies. I got tired of Star Wars. I got tired of a lot of things running themselves into the ground. You look at your boy Zach, who does a lot of comic book reviews and perspectives on comic book writers and artists, comic book editors in chief. He does some positive takes and he does some negative takes. It's always fun to listen to what he says. A lot of things, though, have run themselves into the ground. There's a lot of woke narratives. There's a lot of quote unquote progressive narratives, fake diversity. And so, between all this stuff, I said, let me do something else. Let me create a sort of a subgenre of sorts, okay, that combine heavy metal and death metal and industrial metal and black metal with story and fiction and music and fiction and art. And that's what goth metal lore comes from. And, fact that it's like sort of rated R, PG-13 rated R kind of stuff with killing and mutilation and stuff like that, warriors and Judge Dredd. And this is what I'm doing now. Okay? And obviously, people are coming in and saying positive things. And I don't need some random piece of shit to explain things to me. Okay? I am not here for you to explain things. I have been explained things enough. Okay? That's butt fucking it. So go fuck yourself, get off my channel, and stop trying to explain things to me. Anyway, let's go on to Panos Cosmatos. Kristen Stewart, Oscar Isaac teaming for hedonistic 80s vampire. And by the way, if you try to pretend to be another person or comment on here explaining things to me, you'll also get deleted off my channel. So Panos Cosmatos is going to do a vampire thriller, Flesh of the Gods, with Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac. So this was May 2nd. What could this be about? Is this the movie that he was talking? Is this the love couple? I remember seeing this somewhere, that he wanted to do a movie with about a sort of a romantic movie set in a fantasy. I mean, is this it? Is this what we're gonna? Is this the couple? So they're teaming up to star Kristen and Oscar for Panos Cosmatos' movie Flesh of the Gods, launching in Cannes with WME, Independent, CAA, Media, Finance, and XYZ Films. Packs some considerable pedigree behind the camera, having been written by Andrew Kevin Walker, Seven, The Killer, from a story he devised with Cosmatos, and produced by Adam McKay and Betsy Koch of Hyper Object Industries. Isaac and Gena Konstantinakos also produced for Mad Gene Media, the production company Isaac set up with his wife, Elvira Lind. Flesh of the Gods is set in glittering 80s LA, where a married couple, Raul, which is Isaac, and Alex Stewart, each evening descend from their luxury skyscraper condo and head into the city's electric nighttime realm. When they cross paths with the mysterious and enigmatic figure known as Nameless and her hard-partying cabal, the pair are seduced into a glamorous, surrealistic world of hedonism, thrills, and violence. I have no fucking clue. It feels like Mandy, but could it go into fantasy? I don't even know. What is he going to take some of his ideas from his proposed movie? Like Los Angeles itself, Flesh of the Gods inhabits the liminal realm between fantasy and nightmare, Cosmatos said. Both propulsive and hypnotic, Flesh will take you on a hot joyride deep into the glittering heart of hell. Adam McKay, this director, this writer, these incredible actors, vampires, choice, 80s punk style, and attitude for miles. That's the film we're bringing you today. We think it's wildly commercial and wildly artful. Our ambitions are to make a movie that ripples through popular culture, fashion, music, and film. Can you tell how excited I am? I have no idea. Flesh of the Gods, set to shoot later this year, marks the third collaboration between Cosmatos and XYZ. They also have Necrocosm in development with A24, which they recently released Love Lies Bleeding, another 80s thriller starring Stewart. Walker is best known for writing David Fincher's Seven, Joel Schumacher's 8mm, and Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow. He most recently wrote David Fincher's Venice Bowing, The Killer. Domestic rights on Flesh of the Gods are co-rep by CAA Media Finance, and so it's upcoming in Cannes Film Festival. So these are the representations. That sounds pretty good. I'm hoping that the quality has not dipped for Panos. Having seen The Viewing, having seen Mandy and Black Rainbow, I'm hoping this is going to be good shit. We're just like, please do not fail. Please do not fail. Okay, let's look at one or two more articles. All right, let's end it on this article. Raitha Pattison quits Judge Dredd comics for Yale University Press. So I don't know much about the comics. I have like one issue called 2000 AD. Retha is named head of rights at Yale University. So she has been appointed head of rights at Yale University Press, London, having joined Yale in March. She left Rebellion Publishing, publishers of Judge Dredd, in 2000 AD. Oh, I really wish we didn't have 60 pop-ups in the middle of my article here. It's just a little rude. That's not how we do things. Put them on the side. Oh, look, there's an ad. There's an ad. Just don't be doing this shit so I can't read. So she's moved up to Yale University. At Rebellion in Oxford, she set up the company's first rights department, licensing its photo of comics, graphic novels, speculative fiction, and board games. I'd like to see her board games. Previous to that, she began working in rights at Polity Press in Cambridge, establishing the press' first rights and permissions department and managing its translations list. After a break to pursue doctoral research, she returned to publishing and worked at Cambridge for a university for 10 years, rising to the head of rights and permissions position. She has gone from Cambridge to Oxford to Yale. Working with comics and fiction after 15 years of academic publishing was a wonderful experience that gave me a fresh sense of the potential shapes rights management can take. She says, I'm delighted to now be part of the team at Yale, overseeing the licensing of their exceptional list, whose breadth of scholarly and creative writing is world renowned, and building on the successes of the past. I wonder what's happening over there at that. What's going on at that publishing company? So yeah, that's kind of sad. Franchise editor of poetry, short fiction. Not much there. So yeah, I mean, I like Judge Dredd. I'm not sure who the best writers and artists are, but yeah, Judge Dredd comics. So that's it for now. I have one more video to post, but it's mostly been looking at the news. Let's see. We're on Tuesday. So Thursday, I'm going to do my best to do my review of the original Heavy Metal. Stay tuned for that.